How's it going, everybody? We are here to review the second season of Stranger Things Season 2. Now, yes, everyone has seen this season, both seasons.
You would think by now.
Everyone has. So this is going to be extremely spoiler-laden. Very heavy on the spoilers. And before we begin, Andrew, would you like to point out how far back we go with this show?
Yeah, so, I don't want to,
We go way back.
Yeah, this is not since no, I'm kidding.
Since the year 2016.
Yes, I would just like to say that when we were reviewing this, we are not on those people that are on the bandwagon and
hype train
of the show. A few weeks before the season 1 dropped, I watched the trailer of the show. I'm sure you did too, and I thought this looks pretty interesting. What did you think?
I thought it looked okay, but I wasn't like, I have to watch this. I'm like, yeah, it looks like it could be okay. Yeah.
So then the night it dropped, or the day it dropped, that night, I didn't know what to watch. I wanted to watch a movie, and I'm like, I don't know what to watch. So I went on Netflix looking for something. Like, oh wait, this show just dropped. I'll watch an episode, see what happens. Loved it. Texted you right away.
Right away.
You watched it the next day.
The next morning or afternoon, yep.
Yeah, and then we watched it in like that week before anybody was talking.
And we had one of the first reviews that we beat out Stuckman, beat out Johns. Pretty much all of them.
I mean, yeah, some people watched it all, like, binged it. They're like,
yeah, like, the night of, like, yeah, so we can't take credit for that, but...
No,
yeah.
Or we can't take credit of, like, creating the show. But we can say this, that when we're giving you this perspective, It's
fun to see how extremely popular it's
Oh, yeah, because we didn't expect that. We watched it, we finished it, and we didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
So, we've been very happy to see where it's gone, and getting very popular. So, without further ado, Carter, Season 2 as good as Season 1?
I do think it is. I actually think that the entertainment value of this season is amped up from the first season. That being said, there are like a few problems. There's a few, like, you could call them plot holes with this season, but it's a very, very entertaining season, and I really liked what they did with all the characters in this time around. They interject some new people, Max, and then her older brother. What's his name again? I always forget his name, like Johnny or something, but no, it's not that.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, he's a douche. I don't know his name, but there's him, there's her, and then there's Bob the Brain. Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, this is spoiled. I was like, oh my gosh, Carter, what did you just say? We have to start this over.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that episode. We're gonna go off on a lot of tangents here. That episode I think was my favorite. I think maybe the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, those were both very good.
Because when it felt kind of alien-like.
Yeah.
When in that laboratory and all that stuff.
Oh, it felt definitely like sort of like an arcade game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
very much.
You're going through this lab, and then you're like shooting. Like Hopper was shooting down them as they were climbing up the wall. I think that was the last episode, but yeah, same thing. Very cool, very fun to watch.
And that's the thing about this show. They don't hit you over the head with the 80s references, so when you mention that, it felt like an 80s arcade game.
Yeah.
It's just there's such little hints
and the first
elements.
episode they're in an arcade.
It's just, they got this thought out so well. The Duffer Brothers are
They do.
excellent. They know exactly what they're going for, and it works out so well.
And I love how they intertwined the different, each episode, there's 3 different stories going on, kind of, like what's going on with Nancy and Jonathan, what's going on with the kids, what's going on with Hopper and Eleven. There's always a couple of different things going on, and then they all intersect at the end.
It's so well done.
Very, very well done. I like the humor. There's a lot of very satisfying character moments in this. You know what I mean? Jonathan and Nancy.
Oh, so satisfying. You knew they were going to do that at some point, but
I'm not like one of those guys who's like, oh, I've been waiting for this, but it was satisfying.
Very satisfying.
The guy needed something like that to happen in his life. He didn't have a lot going on.
Yes.
Jonathan.
There's so many satisfying character moments.
Yeah.
It does so well from going from Season 1 to Season 2. And here's the analogy I'm going to bring up. As I was watching the show, I thought of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Hold me out for this sec. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was the sequel to a very, very good movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And what Volume 2 did was it wasn't really sure if we should keep this kind of low-level sequel or big-level sequel. So they was low-level, and then at the end it became big and all crazy and super dramatic.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah.
But season 2 of Stranger Things, season 1 was great, and then season 2 of Stranger Things, or Stranger Things 2, was low-level until that end. But but how they executed in this is so much better than they did Volume 2. And it's such a weird comparison, but it's true. The Duffer Brothers didn't make this feel like a sequel. It made it feel like a standalone season.
It also
anthology almost.
Goes right into it, too.
Yeah. It's done so well, and I really couldn't be happier.
Another thing I'd like to add is that I loved how in this season, Steve
Yes.
is not a dick. He's a good guy.
I really have liked Steve since the beginning, and I'm very in the minority here. I always somewhat felt for Steve because I felt like he was placed in the wrong friend group.
Yeah.
He felt like he became popular out of the ordinary. He didn't expect it.
And now he found his place.
And now he's found his place.
I was like, that was such a nice moment where he's hanging out with Dustin, like
such a nice moment,
getting him ready for the dance. Like that was like, good for you, man.
And I was thinking about this too, and I saw someone else mention this. I can't remember what YouTube mentioned this. That I see the same thing happening to Dustin in the future season, where he starts becoming a little more popular, starts getting in a different friend group
at the beginning of a season.
Yeah,
and then
he kind of
comes back to his senses.
Because now that kind of he's teaching him, and now at the end of the dance,
now he's got the what's her name's hairspray. What's her name? Damn it. I know this.
He mentioned it, and then he had it perfect.
Farrah Fawcett.
Yep.
That's who it is.
There's like 4 squirts of that or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but that was funny.
But that last scene at the dance was just so like. Oh,
I know. I was smiling the whole time. That's why that episode is I think the best. Because
I felt so bad for him when he couldn't get someone to dance with, and it's like, it's Nancy.
I know.
It's just like, aw.
Yeah. It was just so sweet how it all turned out, and then ended up with Mike and 11 or Jane.
Yeah,
now that we find out that.
And even Hopper is chums now with Paul Reiser's character.
Yeah, that was so satisfying because
you think he's a total asshole.
I was so up and down with Paul Reiser. Is he good? Is he bad? What side is he on? He's on a good side.
Ultimately, he wants to clean up the mess from Dr. Brenner or whatever.
Yeah. So and we did find out Matthew Modine is still alive. From what?
Somewhat, I think, yeah.
I think he's still alive. I don't know if that guy was telling the truth, though. I'm really iffy if he's back.
And, yeah, like we were saying, Bob the Brain, though, what a good guy.
Oh, I was so...
Like, it's so sad when he died.
Now, at first, though, I'll admit it, at first, I thought he was a part of all the operations and stuff. Try to get something out of...
That's what Patricia thought too.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, Winona Ryder, whatever her name is.
Yeah. Byers.
Yeah. Anyway, because
Joyce.
He just felt too happy and too good, but deep down inside, he actually is that.
He's just a good guy.
So
he's a bit of he's a goofball, but he's a good guy. Lots of good character moments. I love the bringing it into 1984. There's references to Reagan and Bush election. There's
a lot of science.
There's Ghostbusters. It's a lot of fun. Lots of good music in this season. Yeah, very 80s.
I was gonna say last season there was a couple strictly the score, which the score is amazing. This as well.
I think the score is actually better this season.
Yeah, it is because they
more atmospheric, more to it.
Exactly. But then they added a lot of pop music from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And on first episode, there's like 4 or 5 songs.
There's a little too many, a few too many.
Which I'm like, I automatically got triggered. This is going to be back to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Just random music for no reason.
Just relying on 80s nostalgia.
Yeah, just for those like transitional scenes.
Yeah.
But it didn't. It started getting where there's less and less, but it also was effective.
And very really built to it. Really added to the what they're going for, with the tone and all that. Very, very well done. I really liked it.
Yeah, and I think, just again, the geniuses behind the Duffer Brothers know exactly what they're doing. The cast is so magnificent. The new cast is... I was scared for the new cast. I thought I was going to like them. amazing.
Yeah, but I think we should just briefly touch on a few like.
Oh, for sure, yes.
I'd say that like even though this season was more satisfying, more entertaining for me, there are like a few problems story wise. The first season is very solid, but second season you still don't really know why Will is involved with the Upside Down. You have no idea. He's just somehow is. You don't know why he's telepathically connected or sort of possessed by a creature from the Upside Down. You don't even know what that creature is. It's just some sort of spirit. So I wanted more answers in regards to that. What else was it?
I'll just when you're thinking,
Yeah.
I do understand what you're saying. We do know kind of the Upside Down stuff. So I think what I'll say about that is that some of the questions we had from season 1 we didn't get answered in season 2, which is fine. But I think they should have answered them.
Yeah, they should have.
Because you can answer them in season 3. But I think this is kind of the time. So
if you want to have a perfect structure, I think
Yeah.
the beginning of each season should maybe answer the questions from the last one.
But that wasn't fully true. I mean, we did
No.
get some questions, but not as much, I guess, as we want.
And then a lot of people don't like that 7th episode.
Just gonna say,
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I think it was the reason I liked it so much. It was refreshing to get something very different.
Yeah, it's super tangent though. It's totally like a tangent from the storyline. But I do like the episode.
It's a very good character arc for 11.
It is. She learns about her past, and also I think it's interesting to see a different setting for the show that's not in Hawkins. It was in Chicago, I believe.
Yes.
So that's different. But I liked it.
And I will, yeah. And
She becomes a punker for a while, you know.
And I did like that. I thought that was pretty awesome. So another little gripe. I think episode 1 failed in the beginning. I think to open with what episode 7 was going to be was a wrong decision. With those 5 or whatever guys robbing the bank or
I
whatever.
forgot it. Like I saw that scene and then like I kind of forgot that it happened until episode 7. Like, oh yeah, why was it that early on? Like what? Yeah.
And it got my interest when it said when you saw on a wrist 8 and then it started Stranger Things season 2. That was good. That was good intro. But it really didn't do much throughout the season until episode 7, and there's 9 episodes, so it's like, I think it would have been better if it opened with, I'm going to twist things around, I think it would have been better if it would have been Hopper coming home and then seeing 11 at the dinner table. Instead of ending that episode with that, I think it should have started with that.
So then switch the cliffhangers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's such a small gripe, but if we have to pick things, I think that was...
Structure-wise, that would have been more intelligent, I think. I did think of my other thing, and that was Dacre Montgomery, the actor who plays Max's older brother, who I was still thinking of his name, but he, you never really find out why he has a problem with Max hanging out with her friends. Like, he doesn't really, you can see his dad is like abusive and something.
I hate that. Yeah.
But then he's like, I don't care where she is. But then he does.
He cares because he wants to.
But he's like, I don't know. What are you doing with that specific kid? You have no explanation for why that is. Then he goes out so far as to show up to the cabin and start a fight with Steve. Like, it's just, that was a little too far for me. Like, I couldn't believe that. If he was being abusive and he genuinely cares for his sister, I don't think he would be that weird about it.
Yeah, that personally didn't bug me because I'll give you this. I can make every theory I want of why he doesn't like Lucas or doesn't like his sister hanging out with other people, but it's all theory, it's not factual. Which, so I'll give it to you. I think it doesn't bug me as much as it does you, but we didn't get answers that way. Something about, there was the part in the season where, see, we don't even know his name. We used Dr. Ray Montgomery.
Yeah.
When he goes to Nancy and Mike's house, and then he flirts with the mom, which was hilarious, but also really awkward.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this prediction. I can hopefully, maybe I'll be true. I think he's gay. It's because something about the interaction he had with Steve in the shower just gave me some weird vibes.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't have a designated girlfriend, which you would think he would by now.
There's something. Oh wait, and then there's that moment where he's in the mirror, like putting on like whatever, and then his dad comes and is like, I don't need my son being. I don't want to say the word on the channel, but
I'm gonna predict that now, but I don't know if it's true.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing I love about this show is there's so much conversation that can be in it, so many things you can predict, so many things you get wrong.
But also, you could think that he's racist.
Oh, I think he is racist.
But you don't really hear that.
But the thing is, I think he's abused as a kid, and that's why he's the way he is. I don't think he's a bad guy underneath, because Max is pretty decent. She's nice and very.
Yeah, she's a good kid.
Yeah, and I think side note here, I think she's perfect to add into that cast. I don't think, honestly, you don't need another person with 4 guys and 11, but if they're gonna add another person, she fit right in.
Yeah. I like the season.
I did like the season.
Yeah.
I will say though, I really like season 2, but I have to go back to season 1. How they've set up that story and everything, and how I have memories to it now and nostalgia. I guess
a year ago.
Yeah, literally a year ago. But this will be nostalgic for us later on.
In 30 years, maybe. Yeah.
So I think season 1's cleaner. I think season 2's more entertaining, but I think season 1's cleaner. So I'll say just by the edge, season 1 beats it out.
But rating.
So back when we had a video for season 1, I gave it 9 out of 10. That's definitely changed since. I've gotten more excited about it. That was early on. I thought about it more. I'd probably give that one a 10 out of 10, and that's not joking. I really didn't have a lot of gripes with that season. This one, I did have a few gripes. I think things could be switched around a little bit, but overall this season was so satisfying. I was so hyped for it, and a lot of movies for me, if I get too hyped up, or shows as well, it becomes disappointing. And
the good thing is, I kind of forgot that season was coming out until the week of, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to be nice to watch that. So I feel like that added to it, rather than just me like, 20 more days, 18 more days. I don't like to do that. That just doesn't really work for me since Force Awakens. So I don't do that. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, not Last Jedi.
And now it works, so I'm not too hyped up for it, and I can see it for what it is the first time around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So rating wise, I'm gonna sound too happy about it, but I really just didn't have enough gripes to give it a bad rating.
No.
I think season 1, 10 out of 10. I think I'm just gonna go 9.5 out of 10, and that sounds so nice to it, but it's so good right now.
It's very, very good. I'm gonna have to give it like a 9.3 out of 10. If we're doing like a Rotten Tomatoes, it'd be like 93%, very high.
Oh yeah.
Just small, like but so good, very good.